Folks, welcome to another damn week. Welcome to So Bad It's Good. This is our pop culture roundup. Let's get right into it. She is the host of the insanely good podcast Snarkbait, the one, the only, Sophie Rossbrook. Sophie, how was your weekend?
Hey, how y'all doing? My weekend was good. It was chill. The weather was beautiful in New York this weekend, so spent a lot of time outside. Went to Central Park today. It was a zoo, no pun intended. Uh,
Hey.
but it was a good weekend. How was yours?
It was good. We went to this music festival in Pasadena, which and it was blazing hot. It was like 100 degrees, and this thing like took it out of like we laid like zombies underneath a tree. I was not prepared for that kind of heat, but I got to see like Vampire Weekend and one of my favorite bands that just reunited, Rilo Kiley. They like disbanded in like 2008 and they got back together. So good, but it was I mean, just the heat took it out of you. I mean, I'm
Oh
truly
my
in
God.
my old man era, but people were like passing out right and left. But it's
Uh, oh
yeah, it
my,
was
my
yeah,
God, that sounds awful. We've talked about that before, about how music festivals at our age, it's
yeah.
very difficult.
And you have to walk a mile in and walk a mile out, so you have to factor that into everything. And then there was no cell phone service, which was actually kind of nice. Like it was kind of nice to not have to worry about your cell phone. But then I was like, how are people going to post their TikToks to tell people how good of a time they're having at this music festival?
You just got to take your content and save it for later. I'm a big later poster. I'm a
See,
big proponent of later posting.
yeah, I mean, no, see, I don't know if it's, but I would figure if you were that venue or you were that music festival, you would want them to like post it right then to show, wow, this is how good a time we're having right now if they wanted to sell tickets that day.
Yeah, true. I actually, like I said, Central Park was insane today, and I had no service all day in Central Park because there were so many people. It was basically a music festival in Central Park today.
But isn't it kind of nice to like completely check out in a sense?
Totally, completely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. You didn't have access to Instagram, TikTok, anything.
Yeah.
Like you just
Just
had
raw
to.
dogging life.
Yeah, Rod. And by the way, also I was doing this straight edge, no drinking, no draw. I mean, I straight edged this
Wow.
music festival, so I feel like that's I don't know what that gets me, but
Wow. What's the occasion?
I'm trying to get my health back in order.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 days into this detox where I'm only eating the first week. You have to eat only green foods. And yeah,
Ay.
yeah. So I had a beautiful breakfast of green beans yesterday. I had braised cabbage the other
Oh my
day.
God, I would starve.
Oh, it's bad. And then think about going to a music festival and they had every food known to man there where you're looking at like they even had a poutine stand, which nobody wants to eat poutine in 100-degree weather, but still you're like people are walking past you with these like huge slices of pizza and it
Yeah.
drives you mad.
Oh God, that's a lot of willpower. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. I'm known for my
You're so
willpower, yes.
strong. You're
I'm
so
so
brave.
strong. So I am so strong and brave. Anyways, we hope you guys had a good weekend out there. There was a lot of news this week, a lot of Bravo news, a lot of pop culture news. But also, I want to remind people Snarkbait on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have Dark Energy Tuesday. And then, are you allowed to reveal who you're covering this week?
Yeah, actually, it's someone that I'm not like super, super, super in tune with. His name is Mr. Beast.
Oh, I know a little bit about Mr. Beast.
Yeah, so he's a big YouTuber, one of the biggest YouTubers out there. So we're gonna deep dive into him and all of his business on
It's why.
Thursday.
Do you ever notice if you look at Mr. Beast, he kind and no, this is not a trying to. I hate to say this about Mr. Beast. I don't know him personally. He seems completely lifeless between his eyes. Like there's
Oh
no
yeah,
life in his eyes.
yeah. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there.
But he does these
Didn't
challenges.
he proposed to Mrs. Beast in like a really funny way? Also, that was like just so soulless.
By the way, when you say Beast, it just makes me think of Wes and Jesse going Jesse Beast, Carl Beast,
Co
Wes Beast.
Beast. I've had
Um,
enough of you, you beast. That's what I think of.
I've had. Wait, what movie is that from? I've had enough of you, you beast.
What movie is that
Wait, what
from?
is it?
The
Wait.
Real Houses of Beverly
Oh,
Hills in Amsterdam. Wait,
oh my God.
It was Amsterdam, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, God.
Beast. How dare you?
Okay, so Mr. B, but he's that guy that does those weird challenges where it'll be like two lonely people have to be stuck in this house for a year, and if they stay, they get $500,000.
Yeah, it's like slop. Just complete slop, but for some reason everyone watches it. So,
And he did
yeah.
that Mr. Beast Games, which was kind of like Squid Games in a sense,
Yeah.
except you couldn't kill people, but it was that same kind of vibe where we're going to do this with a bunch of contestants, and the prize was like something insane, like $20 million.
Yeah, my husband unfortunately watched that. So, I don't know what that says about me.
Is your husband a big Mr. Beast guy?
I think he was just like into that specific like Squid Game situation that he was doing.
Oh
Um
my
but
God.
yeah, it's disappointing either way. And also like he slipped in front of me yesterday. So like just like two counts against Henry
Wait,
right
so
now.
he like just he slipped, he fell.
Yeah, he slipped. He was trying to catch Baxter at the dog park, and then he slipped, and like his legs, like he kind of like did the splits in front of me by accident, and like, oh my god,
Wait, wait. So is that a big ick? Is that a big turnoff when your
yeah,
husband slips?
yes, obviously, you guys. I'm so sorry. Any woman out there who's watched her husband slip in front of them, my heart goes out to you.
Wait, Sophie, are you like does the words "in sickness and health" like flash before your eyes when you
In
see him fall like
in
that?
ickness and in health.
Did you? And you, I didn't talk to Henry for the rest of the day after that fall. He needs to
No,
get back on
I
track.
literally didn't. I literally didn't. I was like, you need to like figure out how to be hot again to me.
But he did it to help your dog. Doesn't that count
I
for
know.
anything?
I know, but it's like just don't slip
Okay,
next
well,
time.
this is sounding a lot like Jax Taylor, Sophie, where you're like, it says in sickness and in health. That's all. That's what she needs. Brittany needs to be in sickness and in health. Do you watch that The Valley After Show at all?
No, all I do, this is what I do with the after shows. I watch the clips that make it to social media. I never go out of my way
Oh,
to watch them, but it sounds like I'm missing a lot by not watching the Valley After Show.
Sophie, you are missing out like completely. Each week it varies. Like some are like 38 minutes long. This past week was 22. I recap the entire thing on my Patreon because it's like worth it. But Jax goes on this whole rant about like all I needed when I was in there was like a little note by the coffee machine saying, "We support you, we love you." Like he doesn't even factor in how he's treated Brittany through like the entire relationship. He goes, "I'm a big proponent of notes by the coffee machine. That's like money in the bank for me." Like this dude still wants to be celebrated by this
Yep.
woman that he is like completely fucked over. And by the
Yep.
way, like some of the audience kind of like still buys all of his bullshit. Like completely.
Wait, really? Oh my god,
Yes.
I have not seen anyone that honestly is Team Jax, which is good because I would be very concerned if I saw social media posts. I've seen change.org petitions to get him like off to edit him out of the rest of the season.
Oh, like Emerald on Summer House?
Yeah, like Emerald's poor Emerald.
Poor Emerald.
Poor
Emerald, by the
Emerald.
way, I think Face Reality 16, she posted that Emerald was in this past
Yeah.
week's episode and they completely edited him out. Like, so what happened where you would edit somebody completely out of these episodes?
I don't know, but it's like again, it's like the person of color that always gets that has trouble fitting into the house is how I perceive it. And obviously, maybe it was him like being this quote unquote sex pest or whatever it is, but like I don't know, it makes me sad. I feel bad for Emerald. Hashtag justice for Emerald. Justice for
Justice for
Jules.
Well, it feels like George Lucas like updating Star Wars when they are editing somebody completely out of shots and they're at the dinner table and they're just using shots without him there at all. Like I had no idea that he was there until that account pointed it out.
It's like, what was that movie with Kevin Spacey where they ended up editing him out and replacing him with that other actor who ended up winning
Yeah.
an Oscar for it?
It was this Ridley Scott film, you guys. I forgot what it was called, but it was right as the Kevin Spacey scandal broke, and they digitally altered some shots, and then they replaced them with an entire actor for the rest of the movie. So they used all of like the turnaround shots, but anything with Kevin Spacey, they just hired another actor, and then he got nominated for an Oscar.
Oh my God, who was it? All the money in the world. Christopher Plummer.
Yeah,
Wait,
Christopher Plummer
what if they edit in Christopher Plummer
into Summer House.
Instead of Emerald?
Chris, am I mistaken? But did Christopher Plummer, the 85-year-old actor, show up on Summer House this season? That's wild.
He's also
Uh,
dead, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Rip. Rip.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he
he
is.
is he dead. Okay, rest in
Yeah, he
peace.
is.
He, by the way, he was in the Sound of Music. He had a long,
Yeah.
amazing career. So he did his best while he was here. You guys,
Yeah.
shout out Kevin Spacey. So Summer
Wait,
House,
you
by the
mean
way.
Christopher Plummer?
No, I want to shout out to Kevin Spacey as well. Like, he's obviously not working anymore. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
no, so Summer House, it's so interesting on my TikTok. I'll see a lot of people talk about Summer House, and they'll either be like, "This show is complete shit and it's horrible," blah blah blah. And I don't know why, but this to me is my comfort show. Like, I know I'm not seeing a lot, but for some reason I sit there and I'm like a school kid. Like when they did that scene of Kyle changing his underwear at the beach and it looked like Wes was having sex with him behind the umbrellas. I was like giggling like a school kid. I was like, hee hee hee. Like, are you enjoying this season? Because I am.
I've I've seen that take on social media that it's like, well, there's so many like dark things that happen on Bravo, like look at the Valley or like whatever franchise it is of Real Housewives, Salt Lake City, whatever franchise. That it's kind of like light, fun fare that like you're just kind of watching these people be idiots.
Yeah.
And that's enough. For me, it's not enough. Like I still enjoy it. I still watch it every week, but like something is missing in terms of like plot drama. Like yeah, it's comforting to watch. I agree. But like, I don't know. I want more. I want more.
So then on the flip side, though, do you find the Valley gives you more, or is
Yes.
Valley in its own? Okay, so you think
Yes.
but the Valley to me then goes like like completely 180 the other direction where it's so intense. And thank God they didn't have
Yeah.
the kids this week's episode, but there are all of these crumbling things. I mean, you had a spiritual healer, which was, I mean, why didn't you just bring Jax's Reiki healer to that Santa Barbara vacation, but you had an energy like spiritual person. You had Jesse Lally crying. He'd been day drinking. I mean, Jesse Lally in those dirty gray underpants at the end will haunt me until the rest of my, like, first off, I don't think I'd let anybody see me in my underwear ever. And this guy, I know you can tell he's proud of his body this season. So he's trying to show it off, but like upgrade the undies, right?
Yeah. Why were they that color?
Well, here's another question. Does your husband have similar colored underwear? Because we could be on
Absolutely
a,
not.
what if he shows up all of a sudden after the fall with those gray diaper underwear?
After the fall.
After the
No,
fall,
no, that is one thing he does right. He does not have underwear that color.
Jack in the after show is like, they ask like what kind of underwear they all like to wear, and he's like, if I wear underwear. And I'm like, gross. And then they focus
Disgusting.
like this. The after show is filmed so quickly because they filmed this after Jax had been paparazzi'd grabbing his crotch. Did you remember the story from a couple weeks ago? TMZ had him
Yeah,
like
like
grabbing his
what was
crotch.
he was like, I was rearranging.
Yeah, so the after show confronted this question, and he was like, every man out there needs to rearrange. Unfortunately, I'm a well endowed guy, okay? And I needed to move it. And then, but even Schwartz was like, but you're using two hands. Like, that's so low. And he's like, I'm sorry, but I needed to adjust with both hands.
Can you confirm? Like, is that sometimes necessary?
Oh, I was like, I've never seen Jackson's dick, no matter what you think, Sophie. I cannot confirm or
No,
deny. No,
no.
no. Listen, I'm not working with a lot down here, so I think I don't. In fact, yeah, my penis will sometimes ask me to move. Like, just no. I have an innie, so no. Yeah, of course you have to, but also what Jax was doing on this TMZ shot, like he really was going for gold. Like I don't know why he was digging that far down, and he pulled his sweatpants down where it almost looked like you wouldn't allow him in your neighborhood, or he would have to go door to door to tell you that he moved into your neighborhood. It was that kind of behavior.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
And that classic Jax, he was like, I told my publicist, slow news day? What? They don't have anything else to cover?
Okay, you know what? I'm sold. I need to watch this fucking
Yeah,
after
I'm
show.
telling you, the after show is great. But then on the flip side, they stopped making the Summer House after show, and people are speculating
I
about
told
that.
you my conspiracy theory.
Tell the whole audience.
I think I said this last week that my conspiracy theory is that the cast at this time thought that the audience was going to
Mm-mm.
side with Jesse Solomon. So they
Yes.
were all team Jesse Solomon during the first couple episodes that aired, and they got a ton of backlash for it. So I
Well,
think they miscalculated and instead were talking shit about Lexi or whatever. And then the audience, obviously, that's not how the cards fell. The audience is very much anti Jesse Solomon. For the record, once again, I never liked him. I always got like a bad feeling about him. So
yeah. Well, if Henry falls two more times, you might be back into Jesse Solomon. You
that's
never know.
true.
Like Jesse's
That's
like, I
true.
never fall. No, you had spilled the beans last week that Lexi, took Jesse back, and that's what this episode was. And I was like, Lexi was so close to getting it right, and like that just shows you your instincts are always right the first time. And then like Lexi, it's not like she took a step back because I understand that kind of behavior, but it is getting weird. And then you see the previews and you see scenes from this next week's episode, and obviously, Lexi is pissed because Jesse hung out with Sierra during the week, and Lexi finally does end it. And then Lexi went on the the Vial Files this week, and really said more. In fact, said that Jesse was almost kind of jealous of West for all the attention he got from the
Mhm.
Sierra breakup last season. And I mean, what was your take on Lexi spilling a lot of the beans on Vial Files?
I mean, like, I feel I've seen some comments being like, they dated for 5 minutes, like, stop with the press tour. She has every right to do this. I think that she was so manipulated, and we're seeing that. Like, even in the preview for next week's episode where Jesse is sitting with the house and
He's
he's saying, yeah, he's saying Lexi said that she didn't like how I was close with Sierra and how Sierra treated her badly, and then also Sierra treated Wes badly. And it's like, here's someone who clearly thought they could confide in you as their boyfriend, and you are going around repeating
yes.
everything she said behind her
to
back.
make
Once
your
again,
to make yourself look
to
better
make
within that group.
himself, yes, exactly, to make himself look better. You can tell that he's trying to like be like, well, Sierra, it wasn't my fault. Like that she's the reason that you're mad at me. Like it's
And he
just
plays
so
like he
fucking
plays dumb
manipulated.
in those situations where it's like a mystery to him. He's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to not
Yeah.
have people mad at me. I don't even know how to tie my shoes. I like he
He's
acts
like
very
triangulating the situation where he's like literally
yes.
turning everyone against Lexi and making everyone mad at each other.
But the way
Um,
this is going, I really don't see Lexi coming back next season because, who is she going to hang out with? Because we don't know if I mean, there's Summer House to me is very up in the air, and
yeah.
they made a huge Bravo announcement this week about a bunch of new shows we'll talk about and returning shows. Summer House was left off that list. And now Summer House starts filming the first weekend in July. We know that. The cast has talked about preparing for the new season, so I know it's going to happen. But I think the cast list is still very much up in the air. And Sophie, we've talked about this kind of. Jesse Solomon teased on an Amazon Live. I don't know how this dude got an Amazon Live deal, but he said there's a big announcement that happens at this Summer House reunion, but he couldn't say what it was. Now, this could be just a red herring that he throws out that like it's nothing at all. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we're all gonna wear red shoes next season. That's the big announcement. Like, but it got me thinking of Amanda Batula could be pregnant. Paige DeSorbo.
Or they're separating Amanda and Kyle.
Yeah, but do you think they would do you think they would show up to the reunion to say we're I mean, think about these. Like even Paige DeSorbo, if she left Summer House, do you think she would announce it at a
No.
reunion? I've never seen that
No.
before.
You're right. No, she wouldn't.
And then, and this is what Sophie and I have gone back and forth on, is that part of the Bravo announcement this week, it landed. And then on Friday, Page Six did an article saying that Real Housewives of New York reboot has pretty much been canceled. But then Andy came back and was like, that is not true at all. I don't know where these things come from. That is not true. I've always speculated, and I was kind of. I had heard Lindsay was a part of this RHONY cast moving forward. But even you asked me, Sophie, like, what is this all about? And
Yeah,
at that
what is
time,
happening there?
Well, I mean, I'm saying Andy, like 5 hours later, was like, this isn't true at all. It has not been canceled. Jessel was like, even commented, oh my God, thank God. I thought Poppet was going to have to do food tests, like taste food reviews on YouTube for the rest of his life. So I think it is still very much up in the air. And from what I understood, that Lindsay was in play, but that was a thing that I thought could have been announced at the reunion.
Yeah, that definitely makes the most sense. I also saw Erin from RHONY. Someone commented like, "Please say it's not true," and she goes, "Fake news." So
Yeah.
like, they seem pretty confident that it's not actually canceled.
And by the way, I mean, before I had heard the information I had heard, it would not surprise me if it was canceled because I don't think it gets the most amazing ratings. But I do
Yeah,
know Bravo's invested a lot of money in it. But everybody keeps saying, I want the old RHONY ladies. And I push back against that all the time
yep,
because they had the Ultimate Girls Trip. Nobody fucking watched it with the OG cast.
yep.
And you're telling me we can't go back to what they're like. We'll always be able to have those reruns. But do you really want to see a fucking RHONY reboot with all these ladies living in Florida? You know, like Ramona Singer. Do you see like the shit she's posting lately
Yeah,
with Daniel
absolutely.
Perry, the guy that like killed the dude on the subway?
Yeah, Daniel Penny, I think is his name.
Penny, sorry.
But yeah, no, we don't want they were fired for a reason. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of the OG RHONY stands. Like, OG RHONY had its moment in the sun, and like we can appreciate it for what it was. It was a moment in time. I think that I personally have moved on. I'm not interested in seeing like, again, like Ramona. I don't want to fucking watch Ramona. I'm sorry.
It's great to talk about like amazing scenes with Ramona from the
Yeah.
past, but then Ramona does such stupid shit that I just don't
Like
think
the
it would be.
Daniel Penny stuff.
Yes, I don't think it would be the boon that
Yeah.
everybody thinks it was. But she posts
Yeah.
this thing with Daniel Penny, and whatever your take on the case is, I just think it was just a real short-sighted post that I don't even think it's rage baiting with Ramona. I think this is so ingrained in her, but it really did upset so many people because whatever you feel about the case, to still like take a photo and like, I'm with a hero here, like that is to me really, really batshit. It's like what was
Yeah.
that kid that shot those people and then who's during the
You're gonna have to be
who?
more specific. There
No,
have
I
been
know.
so
Yeah,
many
but there's
kids that
so
have
many.
shot people.
That he looked like the Biggs Boy restaurant. Like he had that little Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay.
It reminds me Kyle Rittenhouse. Where
He
now,
looked like Frisch's big boy.
yeah, he does. He like this baby face, but now he makes his like kind of living on a grift of going around like an American hero because
Yeah.
unfortunately people lost their
Yeah,
lives.
that's like the freaking woman who called a black child the N-word. Did you see
Oh
this?
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
she's raised so much. She's raised like $1 million in a GoFundMe.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
it's just insane.
yeah, I just thought it was. I don't know. It's really. I mean, Ramona, like be who you are. It's just something that I don't think I would love to see on television. And it's like most of those housewives now live in Florida. So I saw people were like, "Oh, you could just do it in Florida." Yeah, Real Housewives of Florida. I just don't know if right now that would kind of. I don't know if I would really
Yeah,
enjoy
no.
that.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. Thank you, though.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Well, so we don't know about the RHONY thing, but I really do want Lindsay a part of Bravo, and
Same.
I do think it's going to be really hard to have a baby there. And did you see Carl and Lindsay going at it on social media this week?
Yeah. Oh
What did you
my
think about that? Because
God.
it was about a
I
scene where
mean,
Kyle this week asked, "Hey, Lindsay's been taking a lot of shots at you this summer," and he said, I think she's over me. I just think she's embarrassed. I think that, and then
Lindsay
Lindsay
Hubbard
went off.
Lindsay Hubbard does not get embarrassed. She would be, if she could experience shame, that would be amazing. But she does not. She does not experience shame or embarrassment. Lindsay Hubbard is not embarrassed.
Well,
Um yeah,
she's
like
a soldier.
I'm team Lindsay here. And also like she has a point. She's like, "Oh, you're talking about opening this bar maybe next year." And she's
Oh
right.
God.
This sophomore party happened a full year before the hypothetical launch date, which is July 2025, July of this year. And yeah, the $10,000 a month lease, you
I
guys.
Sophie, I will say I have worried more about softball this week than I have my own life.
Yeah,
Like
same, same.
I've literally stayed up at night going, how's he gonna do this? How's he gonna how many drinks he's gonna we all gotta go support this soft bar if we wanted to keep going. And then I'm like, how could we change it? And I was like, maybe we sell alcohol. Like I keep going like, what if we just made it a bar? Because that's a lot of money. And even Kyle's like, pretend I don't know what like if you lock yourself
Pretend
into
I don't know how commercial real estate works.
he locked himself what like into a 7 year lease.
Yeah.
And then the build out is going to be like $600,000, which Kyle said would be $900,000. That's a lot of money. And by the way, I do not begrudge Carl for like having that soft bar launch party because that's what these shows push you to do. They go to each cast member beforehand of like what businesses can we focus on this season, and it's a chance to advertise your company because I believe this dude is also crowdfunding some of this money.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
don't.
Yep.
But I was kind of thinking that Lindsay and Carl were on their way to like an actual pseudo friendship, and then after those Instagram posts this week, I was like, oh no, it's done.
No, I know because there was some interview with Carl where he was like, "Yeah, it's really special watching Lindsay become a mom." Huh. Yeah, like I met baby Gemma. It's really adorable. Huh. So like I thought
Oh
they
yeah,
actually were gonna be friends, but like
me
Lindsay
too.
said in one of her comments, she's like, "We are never going to be friends," and I was like, "Oh,
and then and then the preview for this week, Lindsay makes an announcement at dinner. It's like the anniversary of their breakup or something like that, and Carl's like, "Thank you for pointing that out to everybody," and she's like, "No, thank you for giving me a better life." You know,
for
I
setting
just
me free."
setting me free. That's it. Yeah, setting me free. Sophie, hey, this year the Golden Globes there might be a chance that Snarkbait will be announced for a Golden Globe because the Golden Globes announced this week. This is not a joke that there's going to be a new Best Podcast award at the Golden Globes. What is your initial reaction to knowing like it's movies and TV, and now the Golden Globes is getting into podcasting, and they're going to nominate some of the best, most popular podcasts out there? What are your thoughts?
It's so unserious, but also how do we submit ourselves?
Yeah, it's like, and by the way, do we self submit? What is the? It's like maybe this is Golden Globe's way of like getting money because like if we submit, like the submissions are probably going to be like 25 grand or something like that. It's like how I always
Yeah.
speculated that Sir didn't really exist as a restaurant. Like they used the show to push their shitty blackberry cobbler. You know,
Yeah.
like even when I was there, like I was an extra in some of the scenes and they would give you like a free meal. They would make you pay for your drinks. And then one time I was asked to order a blackberry cobbler on camera to Katie Maloney, and I did. And then they charged me for the blackberry cobbler, and I didn't even want the blackberry cobbler. And I was like, "This is how you're making your money. This is how you're making extras in the background paying for their food when they don't even want dessert." I think the Golden Globes are the same way, but at the same time, I would submit just to say I submitted.
Wait, was it good? The blackberry cobbler?
It was fine, Sophie, but when you know, like, you're not really into blackberry cobbler, and then
Yeah.
I was so nervous from doing a little scene with Katie Maloney. This is like 8 years ago that I was like, oh, I'll take the blackberry cobbler. You're practicing your line, and then you're really excited that it went okay, and then you get the bill and they charge you for the blackberry cobbler, and then you can't argue with like the man, like Pete, like, can I see Peter, please? Like I couldn't say take off the blackberry cobbler. I didn't even want this.
Wait, what episode can I watch this? What season was this?
There's a bunch of different seasons that I'm on. I think this one is probably season 6, but then there's another one when I'm at Tom Tom with Laura Marie from Shane Halls from Sexy Unique podcast, where it's when the gang's all in like Cabo or something like that, and Tom Tom had just opened, and Sandoval was like, "Dude, there's a line down to the manhole, dude," or whatever that bar was. But anyways, there was a quick scene where we ordered like the pasta, and then we say, "Oh, it's spicy." Like it was just me, Laura, and Lisa Vanderpump in that scene.
Oh, it's spicy. You
Yeah,
practiced that 25
yeah,
times.
it's spicy. Yeah, it was great. They had Richardson, who used to be one of the managers. I don't know if Richardson is still there, but yeah, I've had a couple uh, background things at Sir, and it's not as exciting as you would think.
I wonder if any of the baddies back to the Golden Globes. Does the Golden Globes, this is a dumb question, I know, have like an academy?
No, well, like it's weird. Like the Golden Globes is kind of a sham in a lot of ways because it's foreign critics, and I think it's only like 93 people that are in the Foreign Critics Association that votes on the Golden Globes. They've tried to expand it more because it came under fire. First off, because of diversity, but then because it's like you could wine and dine gold, like you could wine and dine your way into a Golden Globe win. Like Harvey Weinstein used to do it all the time
Oh
because
yeah.
you could buy off the Golden Globes very easily, and take people like they would get like hotel stays, dinners, like
Oh,
really
and also for the
insane.
record, I would not be above accepting bribes. That's
Oh
why
no,
I'll never let myself become a public official because like if you
yeah.
want like I'm not above it. If you want to send me to the Maldives to vote yes on some issue, like I'm not above that.
Yeah, but at the same time, once you take something, you have to always remember, even if it's free, you will have to pay some sort of price eventually. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
they always end up getting in trouble for it.
yeah.
But I'm like
No,
every time someone gets arrested for like accepting a bribe, I'm like,
well, it's
it's like
like,
they accepted $25,000 in cash and I'm just like,
yeah,
well,
yeah. I mean, if they were offered, like, should we punish the people offering, not the person who took it?
right.
Um, well, it's like the Oscars. If you present at the Oscars or if you win an Oscar this year, I believe the gift basket was $200,000 in prizes with this gift basket.
Oh yeah.
But but the shitty thing is, you guys, is you have to pay taxes on it. So imagine that. Like, I mean, it's an amazing gift basket, but then you're paying taxes on this $200,000. Like, it's like when you win on a game show. If you win a car on The Price is Right, you have to pay taxes on that car.
Okay, I'm not an accountant. How does the government know that you received this like gift basket, you know?
I think there's like a game show entertainment division. It's the same division that sent Jen Shaw to prison. No, I don't know. I have no clue, but
Oh wait, I thought you were
obviously,
being serious. Wait, right. As you were saying that, I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense.
could you imagine how what a
It's
blast that would be to work in the game show division at the government?
at the IRS.
Yeah, but I have a feeling our government might not really know what's going on anymore. So who knows? Who knows?
The internal reality services.
Oh my God. Well, you got to imagine at this point, there are a group of people, any like they announced, by the way, they announced the Real Housewives of Rhode Island is the next Real Housewives franchise this week. And anytime they do this, they didn't announce the cast list, even though there's rumors out there speculating who they could be. But once that cast list is announced, you have to imagine at this point, the IRS and the FBI immediately start looking into those names because it's easy fishing. Like you're gonna get one of those ladies because one of those ladies has already done. If you just go by the odds of what we've seen in Housewives, one of those ladies has done something illegal thus far.
It's like a slam dunk. And honestly, I would hope so because it's going to make if we can get another on camera arrest, like, yeah, please do. But I will say looking at the alleged Rory cast, Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Rory, um, they all have like normal jobs. Like I swear to God, one is a dental hygienist, I think. Like
I
I
love
don't
that. I
understand.
love that. I want normies. I want to get back to
Really?
like yes. I do
Wow.
not. I want it back to the old days of like Vicky Gunvalson selling Kodo insurance. I want that kind of like remember the other lady was like Vicky's like assistant or something. What was her name? Like, but I want it to be like regular jobs because then you'll also be able to see how insane they get in the second season when they get that low level fame and they
Yeah.
quit their job and they want to be a full time influencer.
Like Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy was a fucking professor on Potomac, and she quit it to be like.
After
I mean,
it literally only took one season. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a TV star, have a candle business,
yeah,
have a talk show.
you get your first 3 week candle, and it's like game over for
Yeah.
any kind of professional aspirations that you went to college for. You do not need to go to college to be a reality star.
Yeah.
So, Real Housewives of Rhode Island got announced. They also announced the reboot of Shaws of Sunset, but it's called the Valley Persian style.
That's a
So
working title. Working
it's a work
title.
well because I know it's a working title because I had been told this by people that have worked on the show that a totally different title, like the Valley was a part of it. Like I always knew that it was a part of the Valley franchise.
The Persian Valley, maybe.
Well, no, it was the Valley something else. So I knew that it was like
The Valley colon.
Well,
Persia.
my theory though, because if you just like pay attention to social media, I do know Mercedes Javid is very good friends with Sheena Shea. Sheena Shea has like a light role, coming up on the Valley. Is she going to be the connector from the Valley to the Valley Persian style? Like because she's like and by the way, this actually I have not been told anything about, so I do not have any inside information. But the way my brain works, if they say the Valley, that means there's got to be a connector from that into the Shaws. And I
Sheena
think that might be
Shea,
Sheena,
Sheena
hardest
Shea
working
is
woman in show
literally,
business.
she's literally Madam Web. Her web connects them all.
No, it's 6 degrees of Sheena Shea.
But Real House of Beverly Hills into Vanderpump would not exist without Scheana. And then you have, the Valley connection with Jesse Lally's mistress with oh my god, I was just reading about some other guy that was on Baywatch. That
Baywatch,
wasn't David Hasselhoff.
David Chokichi.
Maybe. It was
Yeah,
some other
but you know what?
guy.
But you know what it is, Sophie. Like, if it's not David Hasselhoff, I don't care to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, David
Yeah.
Hasselhoff would have been the one that I wanted, and I don't want to do like. I don't care enough about the rest of the Baywatch cast to give a
Yep.
shit past David Hasselhoff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. It's like you can keep it.
Yeah, no, but Sheena Shea, I went to her dentist again this week because I got and that's the one that did the gray tooth with the breaking of the tooth. His name's Dr. Rifkin. He's awesome. By the way, I love any doctor I go to now. They're always about to start up a podcast. So this Dr. Rifkin was like, maybe you can give me some tips on podcasting. And I was like, yeah, man, whatever. And then we were talking about Sheena, and he's like, listen, it was an emergency back then. Lisa Vanderpump called me, said, we got to fix this. She's on TV. And she had a dead tooth. She had a gray dead tooth. And I was like, yeah, no, I said, it's a legendary episode. And she's like, yeah, we had to get it fixed, and we did. And like, this guy is like a Beverly Hills dentist. And then the dentist that is his partner did Kyle Richards' teeth.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Yeah. Big
Wow.
time. Big time.
Wow. Big time. Big
Big.
time.
Yeah. It was really amazing. So, but yeah, I was thinking maybe
Dr.
Dr.
Rifkin.
Rifkin. Yeah, Dr. Rifkin, dude, and he's like a kind of like a decent looking dude in shape,
He
but I think he's
sounds
like
he sounds like a nice Jewish doctor. A nice
very,
Jewish
yeah.
boy.
I have to go back on Wednesday, but he's like 75 years old, and he like looks like way better than I do at this age, and he's just really like into dentistry and the cosmetics of it all. Because I was like, he's like, what don't you like about your teeth? And I was like, I've accepted my teeth like or what it is. Like, I just want to make sure everything's okay with like my dental health. And he's like, but what if I told you we could fix some of those chips on your teeth? And I was like, yeah, And he's like, well, it's really nice because you have tiny baby teeth on the bottom. Like I have these little chiclet teeth on my bottom teeth. But it is
Yeah.
interesting. I was like, I feel like I'm going to get out there agreeing to some like $40,000 thing that I can't afford. Like I'm going to look like Carl pretty soon.
I love when they notice things that like I wasn't even insecure about.
Oh,
Like
yeah. And
like I had them last time I went to the dentist, I had a tooth that kind of like I was like, whatever, but I guess like it was kind of like one of those like cliff teeth. And anyway, he just went in with a drill. He was like, yeah, let's get rid of that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's brutal. I lost a little piece of my tooth, and I got bonding like 8 years ago. And he was like, yeah, I can see where that bonding, that outline, it's really coming in right there. And with the coffee and stuff, that bonding's going to come out again. You just really hear things about yourself that you did not want to hear, and all you're
Yeah.
doing. And then they were taught like they use some sort of laser, and like when somebody says laser, you're going to pay some money. You're
Oh
like,
yeah. And
like
you can
lasers.
and you can like smell it burning when they use that stuff. Like when you're and I'm just like, ew.
Uh, Anyways,
But
I think I
I'm
think
glad that Dr. Rifkin is passionate about his business. Cause maybe if you had a business you were passionate about, you would know what it's like to run a business.
yeah. But anyways, back to Persian style. I think Sheena. I'm curious if Sheena will be in that in some way. But I'm like kind of wilded out. Like, why don't they call it Shaws of Sunset again? But I guess they want to connect it with the Valley franchise. And then they announced that. They also announced there's going to be a new Ladies of London,
Yeah.
but it does not include any of the original cast members, even though somebody slid into my DM saying that there actually is a returning cast member that they haven't said anything about yet. And they
Caroline
announced,
Stanbury moves back to London.
well, I mean, they canceled Dubai or they put it on
Yeah.
pause, and she
Yeah.
like so crazier things have happened. I mean, Caroline Sandberg, I think the network really does love, so they're always probably trying to find a
Yeah.
place for those ladies. And
Yeah.
because isn't one of the rumors on Real Housewives of Rhode Island that Ian Nakata from the Bachelor franchise is in it? Ian Kata, or however you say her name.
Oh, you know what? Maybe, but I didn't see that when last time I checked like the purported list of ladies.
Yeah,
So
I'm one of those people.
maybe.
I'm one of those people too that I'm just like, yeah, do whatever you want. Like, just make it a good show. Like, if there's real relationships, I'm
Yeah.
totally going to watch it. But other than that, I don't need to know your business.
Yeah.
We had a big announcement from Peacock as well. They announced a whole slate of unscripted series this week. This is what they have. They have a new reality series involving Tiffany Haddish called Tiffany Haddish Goes Off. They have The Traitors season 4. They have Nelly and Ashanti, We Belong Together. So they're together and they have a reality show on Peacock now.
Hmm.
They have Married at First Sight season 19, Love Island USA season 7, Love Island Games season 2, Love Island Beyond the Villa, and that's following the season 6 cast. They have the Idaho student murders in
That's
unscripted.
I'm watching that tonight after this.
Oh, you're watching the Dateline?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring that up with you in a sec. The Idaho Student Murders, which is a docu-series, House of Villains season 3 has moved from E to Peacock because they just did this big separation from Comcast. So E is going to be its own thing, and Peacock has taken House of Villains. So I don't know how much longer E can survive without any kind of
That's
original
so
programming.
that's so fucking sad. Honestly, I used to get so excited. This is crazy because it feels like another world, and you probably relate to this. I used to get so excited to come home from work or school and watch E News at 7 p.m.
Yes. Well, and E News exists, but it's just not the juggernaut, or I don't think it's the dry. I don't know what E is trying to do anymore. So I don't know how much longer it can hang on because I mean, they obviously lost the Kardashians. Then they went to the Bradshaw bunch, which I don't think was a big hit. They've tried to launch these shows, and House of Villains is actually a decent show. And now Peacock has taken it, and it's going to be off
Yeah.
E. They also have the Gilgo Beach Killer, the House of Secrets unscripted series, and Epic Ride, the story of Universal theme parks. So they have a huge slate of reality series just for Peacock itself.
You know what?
Also,
No one's doing it like Peacock. Let's be
I,
real.
I mean, I do watch it the most just because I cover Housewives. But I
Yeah.
mean, the only streaming service I do not like is Paramount Plus. I just feel like they really, I don't know. It's whatever. Um,
I can't remember I don't think I have Paramount I think I have the Paramount Plus plugin for Prime Video.
well,
So
I figured you
maybe
might use it just because you love
Survivor.
Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah, Survivor. I watch it on Prime and then with the plugin for Paramount Plus. But like, I just hate every single streaming service's UX that isn't Netflix. And I actually
Yeah.
talk about this in Dark Energy
Did you
Tuesday
see
tomorrow.
Netflix just switched up their whole
It
home
did?
screen? Yeah, like on your phone, it looks completely
No.
different. Unless they're rolling that out slowly, but it looks completely different now this week.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
No, you'll be all right. It's going to be
Okay.
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 Yeah. No, but yeah, Peacock, huge and unscripted. Love Island, they revealed that it is coming back June 3rd. Ariana Madix returning will meet a whole new cast of beautiful, horny people. But it's going to be hard because I think season 6 was lightning in a bottle, and it is so hard. It's really all depends on casting and what they capture. And I'm curious if season 7 kind of expands the success that season 6 had because a lot of people still don't watch Love Island and don't really realize what it is. So hopefully they can build on the momentum of season 6. But it starts on June 3rd. It's 6 days a week. They take Wednesdays off, but it's 6 days, an hour at least each night.
That's insane that it's 6 days a week.
Well,
Maybe I do need to get into Love Island
I
finally.
think you would dig it, but like just remember the first week is so slow. It's a lot happening, a lot of new names. It's really hard to
Yeah.
accept new people into your hearts when you watch these TV
Yeah.
shows. But then by the second week, something happens and you start getting really into it.
Okay.
You just have to push past that
It
first
would be
week.
really nice to have something to look forward to like every night just because there's so few things that I have to look forward to anymore.
Well, but we're both huge fans of season 2 of The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder. What did you think
Yes.
of this? What did you think
Yes.
of the Evanescence episode last week with Sully?
No. Oh my God. I didn't watch last week. I'm behind. I'm behind.
Sophie, are you out of your mind?
But I did see a tweet about it that Bring Me to Life, like the timing, something about it was like a spoiler that I
Sophie,
got
it
excited
is
about.
so I you need to watch that tonight. it is so like this will win some sort of award. I don't know if it's going to be an Emmy. It might be a Golden Globe for best podcast, but this episode in particular, this dude's mind is insane. And there's three more episodes left after, or two more after tonight's episode. And I know you hate when I say this, but I watched the finale today and he does something in the finale. I just don't know how he gets insurance to do the things that he does. Like there is something so that it blew my mind. But you have to watch episode 3. Please watch it in the next
Oh
couple of
my
days.
God. I'm so fucking
And
excited.
I think Henry will like it too. Like
Oh, Henry loves the rehearsal.
it goes into so many different little avenues that you just every time I think I realize what he's going to do, he does something completely different. Sophie, quickly, what was your thoughts on the Met wrapping up the Met from this week, the Met Gala?
Honestly, I like already forgot about it. Like none of the outfits were like that interesting. I'm glad that like no one was super offensive except for Lisa wearing Rosa Parks, which apparently allegedly wasn't supposed to be Rosa Parks, but everyone interpreted it as Rosa Parks on her
Wait,
vagina.
wait, because she's talking these figures were embroidered on Lisa from Blackpink's undies, and um, one looked exactly like Rosa Parks, and you're saying that it wasn't supposed to be Rosa Parks.
They released a statement being like it's supposed to be, I don't remember what they said, but not Rosa Parks,
It's supposed to be
apparently.
your mom. That's
Your
like mind your
mom.
business. Well,
Um,
then
and then did you see Amelia Hamlin?
Amelia Hamlin. Like, do we need like a
I'm
5150 hold? Like,
I'm scared. She really scares me. She scares me a lot. But she was wearing something that could be interpreted as a do-rag. So we
yeah.
knew that there were going to be some maybe like moments just because of the theme. It was super fine, black tailoring, black menswear themed. Zendaya looked really good, but also this other woman was wearing basically the same outfit as Zendaya. It was just kind of like
Kim
whatever.
Kardashian kind of looked like Countess Luann.
But I actually liked Kim Kardashian.
Really?
Yeah,
That's fat.
I liked it.
Wow. Well, Kylie Jenner, did you see this Instagram story she posted about her feet were stuck in her shoes?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And her and Timmy made their red carpet debut shortly after.
Yeah, God, Kris Jenner has had the best week ever. So we thought maybe Timothy would go with Kylie to the Met Gala, but he was watching his beloved New York Knicks. Knicks in 5, you guys. And
Oh my God, I love when the straight man comes out. Knicks in
hey,
5.
Sophie, you wouldn't get it. You're not a guy like I am. So
Okay, Ryan Beast.
yeah, listen, I want this football game to go good for the Knicks.
The football.
Um, but he was watching on an iPad the Knicks game. Kylie went, and then Kylie's big sausage feet. I mean, these shoes are. This is what even with Kim. Like, did you see people helping Kim up the stairs? Like, she can barely move. Like, I
Yeah.
get fashion is pain sometimes, but isn't also fashion like being able to move in your clothes and still be sexy and confident? Like, I don't like if you're trying
Pain
to
is
jam your.
beauty. Pain
But
is
like,
beauty.
come on, there's got to be some designers that like work with what you have. And Kylie's stuffing these Vienna fingers into this shoe, and then she's like, like you see the foot, it just looks mangled in the shot.
I love how Timothy was watching the Knicks probably on like Stormy's iPad, on Cruz's iPad.
Or what if it's Timmy's iPad that Kylie bought him, and he gets Timmy time on it,
It's
and it's
Timmy's
like
iPad, and it has like the case, like the childproof case. That's
so you
like the
can't take it, and it has parental controls on it.
yeah.
So he's like, Kylie, can I watch the Knicks game, please? Please. Okay, but you have to take me to your award show this week. Okay, okay. So they went to this award show, you guys, and you like listen, I just read into these pictures because, you put a story in there that probably isn't true, but I just think Kylie was beaming. Like this was a big deal for her. I didn't even know
Yeah.
what this award show was, but they were honoring Timothy
Yeah.
and they looked like a very beautiful couple. I will say that.
Yeah, they looked happy. And of course, you have the people reading the body language and being like, he's not that into her. And I'm like, okay, like, stay delusional. I think that he genuinely, and I say this as someone who has been delusional about Timothée Chalamet not liking her in the past. I think it's obvious that he really does care about her. I have seen some crazy days and nights, blind items, and you can take them with a grain of salt.
But didn't that guy
these?
didn't the guy admit that he just makes up half of that shit? Didn't that
I mean,
guy like go on record?
probably.
Okay.
But did you see
Well,
these though? He's been
no, I
posting a
don't
lot.
read that guy.
he posted a bunch about how Timothee cheats. You know, he has the reality star on his arm, but like he's with another woman every other night, and that he uses Kylie for the sex, the money, and the toys, quote unquote, which I assume is like her PJ, her private jet.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's true? All I
That's
can
what
say is
Rebecca
that from
always says. Rebecca's always like, "Oh, he wants that private jet." I'm like, "Dude, he can afford his own private flights." Like, I don't think he's in it like that, where he's that wooed. But
yeah,
I imagine the Kardashians do a full court press where it feels like, "Holy shit, the red carpet has just been given to me, and I'm already famous."
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like I can imagine that even if you are wealthy and famous, it still feels amazing to not have to foot the bill for anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what. Does he even like make an attempt to go for the check?
He
Does he
just
like,
goes, he has like
I'll Venmo you"?
T-Rex arms.
His little Timmy fingers. He's like, "You got
Yeah.
this? No, I'll get the movie. I'll get the movie. You got the dinner? You got yeah." I mean, like, I really do wonder how famous people pay for shit. Like, who is in charge of the wallet? Like, once you get to a certain, like,
I
close
also
to a
think,
billion,
but you also like, you probably know this, that like the wealthiest people in maybe in your life are also like the cheapest.
very true. Very,
Yes.
they are so aware of money and they keep a running count in their head.
Yep.
Like, I will say that. And by the way, this is why I'm not rich, is because I don't. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, or put it on the card, or put
Same.
it like, and then
Same. I'm just like,
I
yeah,
got
it'll all cancel each other
I had
out.
an Amex bill that I was like, what the fuck is this? And I had put my dental thing on there, and I leased a new car, and I would put it all on this Amex, and then I got it, and I almost dropped dead. And I forgot I put the car on there, but I was like, what the fuck is this? But I don't think of it. And that's why I think I'm not as successful, because I just don't think of those things.
No, your wealthy friends, you guys, are the ones that Venmo charge you $3.59 for an Uber that like six of you shared.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I wish, I don't know, maybe in 2026, I'll be more like that. Sophie, your thoughts on new Pope? We have Pope Leo. Were you excited? The white smoke appeared out of the Vatican, and the conclave was over before it even begun. It was like less than two
Yeah.
days.
No, I need to finally watch Conclave. I actually was with my Catholic friend this weekend because she was kind of explaining it to me. It
It's
was
kind of
me and
fascinating.
it was me and my other Jewish friend, and we were like, "Can you explain like what does the Pope do? Like how does all this work?" And the way that she explained it, we were like, "How?" Because we all were under the impression, it wasn't just me. We all were under the impression that an American Pope was not a thing. Like they were all like Italian.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean,
so it was
I was
kind of
shocked.
it was never like a rule that they couldn't be American, but it was kind of like an unwritten rule in a way. And then I guess, let the best pope win. Let the
Yeah,
best bishop. Does
that's
it go bishop, cardinal, pope, or cardinal, bishop, pope?
I don't know, but I know those are all. No, listen, I've even visited the Vatican in another lifetime, like, and it was like this beautiful space. Like, it's a very,
Yeah.
I mean, so much history. It's like so much beauty, and the artwork in that whole area is just so insane. But if you watch the movie Conclave, which you can stream on Peacock, they go through it, and it was so funny because they were interviewing all of these people that would be in the conclave, where they all were like, "Yeah, we did watch Conclave this week to see what to prepare for." Like, they
Yeah.
were watching the movie because they didn't know what to expect. But it would be amazing if they did like Mr. Beast games for Conclave next time. And it was like, the one survivor will be the new Pope. Anyway, the new Pope Leo is from Chicago. And then did you see this? That Harry Styles was spotted in the crowd during Pope Leo's inaugural speech. Like, Harry Styles was just randomly in the crowd in a baseball cap and glasses.
Oh my God, I didn't see that. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I will say that, like, Catholics that are listening to this, you guys got like the drip down. Like those like bishops, cardinals, I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance, whatever they are, everyone just looks amazing.
Yeah, no, they love a good costume. It's like the cast of Summer House when they throw a party. They love a good
Yeah.
costume, but they are yeah. There's a lot, but there's a lot of tradition and pomp and circumstance,
Yeah.
and a lot of jewelry, and just so like the engraving on all the robes. But this Pope Leo had to immediately go out and give a speech into the square. Like, everybody just flooded into the square, and he gave his first speech. And this dude is like fluent he's American, but he's fluent in Italian and German, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
already just
You
way
have to be.
smarter.
I think that you like literally have to be like trilingual to be the Pope, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, so yeah, new
Because you have
Pope.
to speak like Latin, I think, also.
Oh yeah, I will. So much of this stuff is written in Latin. Um,
Would you be so scared if you heard someone speaking Latin like in your real life?
you know what? I disassociate a lot where I think I would just be like, I would just mind my business. Like, don't you do that? Like, I don't really, I hear a lot of different languages in Los Angeles and I never, it doesn't pique my curiosity at all.
Yeah, because one of my friends was saying that her neighbor was like speaking Latin to herself the other day. Like,
Well,
does that
that
sound
might be like,
terrifying?
yeah, that could be like an incantation. That could be something, that could be like a bad Bloomhouse horror film, happening. That would be very weird. Um,
But
Paige is still,
congrats, you guys. Congrats to all of the Catholics.
yeah, by the way, for all the people that didn't actually make it to be Pope, hang in there, man. You never know. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give
Like
up on your dreams.
keep up the fight. Like, and you never know. Life throws like weird curveballs where it could throw you in a different direction. But also, do you think this Pope, since he's American, like how American is he? Like my thought was like, is this our first Pope that is aware of Bravo?
Oh, for sure. He's a White Sox fan, apparently. Like he
Yeah,
like
he's
has
not
like
even a Cubs
lore.
fan. He's a White Sox.
Yeah, he's a White Sox fan, which is apparently a big deal. Yeah. I would say that he's definitely aware of Andy Cohen. I think that he has awareness of like Luann de Lesseps.
Oh
Um,
my God. He's like, girl, do not reboot like RHONY with the old cast.
he's like Summer House this season. Like, I'm just, like
What he's like, call me Pope Leo Beast. Call me Pope Leo Beast, Wes. Wow, I cannot believe I'm meeting
send it.
the Wes Wilson and Jesse. Yeah. Are we going to send it again this season? Wait, by the way, also somebody pointed this out. Carl Radke's book, Cake Eater, all of a sudden disappeared. Like, somebody was like, what happened to the Cake Eater book? Wasn't
Has
it
it
like
just
when
not released yet?
or are they renaming the book because there was so much like weird talk about the title of the book? In fact, you actually had a good, what was your name that you thought up that was
More life. More
More Life?
life.
Yeah, that was great.
I okay, now I'm curious. It's
Because
still
we
on
were,
it's still pinned on his Instagram, but it's coming December 2025.
wait, wasn't it supposed to come this? Maybe I'm just making up things. I
No,
thought it
but
was
you
supposed
can
to be this summer.
no, Soft Bar is coming this summer. Cake Eater's coming in December. You can pre-order it now.
Sophie, Sophie, when Softbar launches in like 2 years, we and Chrissy Snarkbait, we should all go to Softbar for like a special event.
No, we absolutely should. We should like ask if we can host like a
Yeah, do a
live show
meetup.
there. A meetup at Soft Bar.
By the way, I do not think they would be like turning down business like that.
No, I don't think so.
But
They
then
need all the business they can
the
get.
question is, would we actually throw something at a place that doesn't serve alcohol?
No, actually, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. That's
that's the
actually a
thing.
deal
That's
breaker for
tough.
us. But like, what about like the add-ins, like the mushrooms? I guess that he's like adding
Yeah,
in.
he has these
That could be
mushroom
fun.
additions, but I don't think they're the mushrooms that you fully trip out on, are they?
Well,
You can't do that.
I would want them to be.
That
Otherwise,
would
it's like,
be.
what's the point?
I went to soft bar tonight and it was insane, you guys. Like
It
people were
was so.
literally
It was so mindful, bruh.
Jesse, Jesse Lally doing ayahuasca. That was the thing. I did ask when I was in that Valley van, and they cut a bunch. Like you such a small clip, but I did ask about ayahuasca to Jesse, and he said he's done it a couple more times since that time we saw on the Valley season one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm interested. I don't know where I have
I
to
would do
go.
it. I would do it, but like, aren't you scared with any of those things? I remember when I did mushrooms for the first time or something. I just always get scared of going to a dark place, and then you're the friend that's like, "Yeah, you really changed after that time you tried
Yeah,
mushrooms for the
like it
first time."
permanently alters your brain chemistry and you're like
Yes,
never the same. Yeah.
because you always heard about that random person that it completely changed who they were, and they were never the same.
Yeah. And they just walk around now like that would be me. That's something that would like only happen to me.
As we wind down here, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives premieres this Thursday. I got to interview four of the ladies this week, and there is in the one of the Mormon wives does ketamine therapy with her husband in the show, and I got to tell you, I'm now like this has also piqued my curiosity because it looks amazing, and they're just like in a safe space, and you put on like AirPods for music or whatever, and you have like a little blindfold, and it's an hour session where you're going through like ketamine therapy. And I'm like, this seems badass. But I was shocked at how like open they were about talking about it on this show.
Yeah, it's surprising because they're Mormon. Um, but yeah, I've done unauthorized ketamine therapy before, and let me tell you, it
I've
it
never,
does it
I've
does make
never
you look at
done
the world differently.
I've never. That's what I've never done ketamine. Like that. It shows my age. I feel like that's a newer drug. But I'm looking. I need to look into therapy now because if you can do it that way, I could try it at least once
Yeah, in a controlled environment.
in
Yeah.
a controlled environment where I'm
A
not running into
controlled
walls.
a controlled K-hole.
Controlled chaos. What he was saying, the Mormon Wives. There's a lot of drama too, and because on Vanderpump Villa, which I know you haven't watched, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, half of the
Mhm.
cast went there to visit. One of them, Demi, had like a flirtation with Marciano, who's kind of like the Jax Taylor of Vanderpump Villa. And I watched the episode and it didn't really seem like it just seemed like they hugged. It didn't seem like, but he says there was way more that you didn't see. And that at the reunion for Vanderpump Villa, he said there was also another girl in that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives group that he also potentially, there was something weird going on with. Now, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 2, I've seen 3 episodes of, but I hear that this topic gets brought up more throughout the season. And I'm hearing that
Oh.
Jessie is the other girl that Marciano had something with. And the other interesting thing about that is that I know it all comes back to Scheana. Marciano is good friends with Scheana. Like they started hanging out pre Vanderpump Villa, and then Jessie is also good friends with Scheana. And like when the Mormon Wives first premiered, Jessie and Scheana became friends. It all comes back to Scheana.
Her web connects them all.
Like one Scheana to rule them all.
Yeah.
I am completely blown away. What did you watch this week? Even though you didn't watch the rehearsal.
I actually finally watched Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman and Harris
Oh,
Dickinson. Did you watch that yet?
super horny. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fucking weird. But like, I mean, anything with Nicole Kidman is good. I also watched Past Lives because it just landed on
I
Netflix.
loved Past Lives.
If you
Oh,
guys just like need, sometimes I need like a sad movie to like make, like it's cathartic to watch a movie that makes you cry when you know you kind of need a good cry. So it's one of
yeah.
those. So viewer discretion is advised, but it was like amazing. And then,
I love that movie.
um, yeah, I'm watching after this. I'm going to watch the Idaho murders
Yeah,
on
you guys, they
Peacock.
did a 2 hour Dateline episode, and I got to tell you, man, I'm not on the jury, so it doesn't really matter what I think. But this Brian Koberger 100% did it. If you watch any of the new details from this Dateline episode, they have what is his alleged white Elantra. They have it on video
Yeah.
camera from one of the neighbors' houses, literally around the time period, going back and forth, like he was almost deciding if he was actually going to do this or not. And then the white Elantra pulls into the like for the final time, whoever's in that white Elantra goes and commits these like horrific murders. And then you see the car like pull out of there 20 minutes later. And then all the while, this dude had turned off his cell phone at that period of time at night. He had not turned off his cell phone any other times except for that period. They have him on Amazon, like a year prior, buying the K-bar knife and the sheath. Like
Yeah.
then he took a selfie afterwards with a thumbs up. And then
Yep.
the night he got caught by the police, he also took selfies in like a completely black outfit, like just staring at the camera.
Oh my
And
God.
on his phone, he had screenshots of so many like college students at that college in like bikinis and stuff like that. And his porn search history was all
So
like
disturbing.
forced bond, forcing,
Like
knocking somebody
sleeping,
out. Yes,
drugged.
sleeping. Yes,
Yeah.
drugging.
Oh, it's
I
so
mean,
fucked up.
listen, if you, I don't know, I just feel like God. All this, it's been 2 years since this has happened, and this guy still, there is no sentence, and we don't have the court case even starting yet, and like this is ridiculous. It's like, come on, it's him. It is him. Period.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's pretty clear that
Yeah.
we got him. We
We
got him.
got him. We did it,
Yeah.
Joe. Also, Will and Emmy from Southern Hospitality got engaged this weekend, or they announced Will Culp and Emmy Sherritt from Southern Hospitality, which I don't think you watched,
No,
Sophie,
I don't
right?
watch. So why was everyone like making fun of them?
Okay, because first off, Emmy is like to me, she's a reality star. Like she had mascara dripping down her face, like Erica Jane in that one season, and like she would get riled up. But Will, there is so many like cheating rumors throughout the seasons of Southern Hospitality, and he's studying to be a lawyer. He like decided to not do the reunion at the last minute, even though he was in the building, and she's wanted to lock this down forever. So the fact that they finally did it, it's one of those like she's just so in this relationship. She just wants this so badly. So it's like, congratulations. But a lot of people are just like, dude, like you just, Will seems like a nice guy, but it just seems like he also badmouths her kind of like,
Jesse
Jesse
Solomon.
does. Yeah. So there's just a lot of weirdness there. So I wasn't expecting it. Also, they're just so young still.
Well, best of luck to the happy couple.
Best of luck, you guys. So, and then also I watched this Netflix series, An American Murder. What is it?
Oh, a deadly American
Mar-
marriage.
a Deadly American Marriage.
Yeah,
It's
what a mouthful. What a mouthful. I never heard of this case either, but I watched this last night.
yeah, you watched it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was good. I mean, it was like I hate when I'm like a dick, but like, yeah, it's okay. But like, it's just a weird story about
Yeah.
like a lady and her dad end up killing her husband, but
Yeah,
then they say it's because
there's no real like resolution. It's like, oh, was he like so abusive that he deserved it? And I'm like, well, maybe, but also like his fragments of his skull were like splattered across the room. It seemed like it was a little bit of overkill, so I
oh,
don't know.
they really did a number, and then like they had a
Yeah.
brick somehow in the bedroom to do this, well, on top of a baseball
A
bat, a
cinder
cinder
block
block.
like on her nightstand.
But there's two kids involved, and then it's like it really
Yeah.
is fair because they go back and forth like from each like person of like it could be this, it could be this, but then like to like then theorize that this dude killed his first wife who died from an asthma attack, and all
Yeah.
the research I did afterwards was like her family, like her sister was in the room when she died of that asthma attack. He did not
Yeah.
kill his like that's
Yeah.
wild to like he's dead. He can't defend himself. And now you're pinning another like he lost his first wife. Anyways, maybe check that out. It's only an hour and 40 minutes. But
Yeah.
that's it. Well, what is coming up for you, Sophie, this week besides watching the rehearsal?
Dark Energy Tuesday tomorrow, and then a deep dive on Mr. Beast,
Mr. Beast
Carl Beast, Jesse Beast on
and Mr.
Thursday.
Beast.
Yeah, so yeah, check it out. Snarkbait.
I
Yeah.
think there was something else. But anyways, happy Mother's Day, a day past to all those mothers out there. And Sophie, to your mother and to all of you guys, you're killing it. I hope you have the best week ahead. And remember, rate and review Snarkbait 5 stars. And if you haven't done that for this show as well, do it. And yeah, we will talk to you guys on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.